Welcome back to the channel. On the spotlight today we have SparkX i7 beginner friendly 3D printer, and you can see all the things I 3D printed with this machine. Let's take a closer look at them and enjoy this video. Here are some of my 3D prints I did with SparkX i7. So this is a PETG fruit bowl washer. This is another PETG sunflower and windmill, and it works really nice with the wind. Here we have a articulating Mustang with all the connections. This is one of my favorite out there with the gears, and I didn't sand anything, everything fit perfectly. Same goes for this amazing unicorn, and it just like snapped in. Just check out the rest of the video, you will see it. I am really enjoying the fact that I don't need to put any offsets and I can just print interlocking features. And other PLA prints over here. The very first one, SparkX keychain, and the spider torture test. This one turned out really good, and there's no sagging, and it just like did the job perfectly, and multicolor. Yeah, and these four were PLA, and here we have the TPU. And I print the TPU slower than normal speed. That's recommended because I always print TPU slower. I put too much infill into this one. It's a little bit tough, but this one is a vase that's 3D printed with TPU, which worked really nice. This machine can print TPU. I really like that too. And here is my TPU hanging in there. One of the features that can be recognized very fast is the build plate size. Even though printer is almost similar size to competitors, look at the build plate size difference. The SparkX has 260 by 260 by 255 build volume, and they are bigger than their competitors' build sizes. Look at it, 1, 2, and 3. That's also pretty cool effectiveness in terms of space. Look at this cool rainbow. Look at this cool rainbow, I love it. Another different feature that we have with the CFS Lite is, another different feature with this machine with CFS Lite is it actually pulls the filament up. That causes less jamming, and you're able to fit all sizes of filaments from other brands and cardboard filaments, and they all work without jamming. So far so good, I really like it. This pulling it from top solves a lot of problems. SparkX from Creality. Let's take it up. Time to get this machine out of the box. Alright, let's look at the pieces that came out of the box and start putting this together. First comes first, here is the SparkX i7, the machine itself, the extruder head, the side, the cutter, the build plate, the screen over here, and here is the extra filament holder. We have the tubes, connector cables, tools, desiccants, filament, power cord, some other tube, and this is CFS Lite. First easiest thing to do is to put the filament holder on top, and here it is. I'm just gonna plug it in, push it, and that's it, and this is attached. I'm going to turn the screen towards me. This is a little bit stiff, so don't worry, you're not going to break it. You just like turn it towards you. Right now I'm with the CFS. I like how this opens. This is different, right? You put it this way, not from the top down thing. What am I going to do right now is to put these tubes over here to connect the CFS to our 3D printer. What you need to be careful is like they're like too short, too long tubes. So you're gonna put the one long tube here, okay, and then the other short one here, other short one here, and the last long one here. Here is our extruder, and I'm going to plug it in like this, one by one. If you look at it closely, long ones are different color than the short ones, and we did it. The next thing that's important, that's been warned, is to attach this to also this cable holder bucket over here so that you prevent any damages, which I did. And Luna over here is liking the box. Another step that we are going to take is to connect this communication cable between them. Good thing that I like is you don't need to separately power this one. Everything is going to be transferred by this cable. And we're gonna use this end. This is like L-shaped to the back of this machine over here, upside down. And over here, there's another pin connection that we're gonna connect. And this bag over here is for external tubing, which I am not using at the moment. What I can do, plug it in here, hang it to the back of the machine, because there's like a space here so that it will be ready when I need it. Let's put the desiccant bags. I got all the desiccant bags out of their covers and we're gonna place them here. You know what? I see an opportunity to 3D print a DIY solution to put those desiccant bags locked in place. And before we start this cute 3D printer, we need to remove these 4 screws to release the gantry. I believe this is the time to fire this bad boy up. Now I switch the power. Let's see what's going to come out of the screen. Alright, now let's go through some setup. I'm gonna pick a language and click next. And it already tells me to remove the transporter brackets, which we did. Click next. No object is in there. Perfect. Privacy policy. I didn't read it, but you know. As always, next. Now I need to connect it to my Wi-Fi. After that, I need to connect it to my Creality account, which I am going to do too. And right now I'm in and I'm going to click next. And we are going to do the self-check first, which has nozzle heating, heat fan brake, model fan, hot bed, humming, cutter, impulse shaping, everything. But look at these colors over here. I love it. That is the cuteness of the rainbow that I'm talking about. I really like it. Look at it. It's RGB and we can do a lot of stuff on it. Now the first motions of the machine is ongoing. It's gonna do the homing checks for me. Now it's moving back and forth. Perfect. Everything seems like working. I really like it. Now the checks are finished and we just need to do one more thing, which is to upgrade the firmware. I'm gonna click download and complete that. Meanwhile, we are going to go ahead and plug in some Creality filament into CFS Lite. Nice and automatic. Pretty. Everything looks good. Let's close it and get ready to print. You know what? I would love to see some LED lights so that I could see through this. It might be really cool. When I inserted the filaments, everything is pending right in here in this location, and the print is going to send them in and it will start. Now we are going to look at some of the features and the settings over here. So this is the main screen, right? When you click filament, we have the CFS Lite and all the filaments are already loaded because there's an RFID reader on them, especially since I'm using the Creality filament. You can see the definition of the filament over here when you click read. Let's go back and you can also load and unload, and here is the spool holder which is empty right now. Let's go back, and when you come to the controls you can see a silent mode only when it's 3D printing. We can control the light on and off, you can see over here, and change the fan speed, and we can control the XYZ and disable the motors. Next up is the settings. Over here with the print settings, there is a LED strip, right? I really like it. So you can turn it on and off, and you can select the lightning mode to be rainbow, any other colors. Of course, I'm going to go with the rainbow. You guys can see it right here now. And always on mode, so I want to keep it always on. Prompt sound effect, which I'm going to keep it on, and the time-lapse photography. So there's a camera over here, you can see, and there's like a cover over this camera too. We are gonna open it up, and here the camera location is. I'm gonna turn it on for time-lapse photography as well. And CFS Lite settings are also in here, which are on. Perfect. And I don't want printing feedback right now. We can change the nozzle size over here. AI-based detection. Let's open these all so that it will help us. Let's go back. And there's an expert mode over here. We can click and we can play with the flow, Z offset, print speed, nozzle heating, PID calibration. These are only playable during the print. And when you come to the system, these are system settings. which everything is ready for action. What is inside the local memory? There's like a Christmas star, Banshee, octopus, keychain of the SparkX, some other stuff too. But most of these are single color, but SparkX is the multicolor. So my first print is going to be this one. And let's just print it and see how it's going to look like. Here goes some bad leveling in action. Alright, first print started, and here is the first layer with orange color. This is going to be 3-color print. SparkX, powered by Creality. Okay, let's wait for this print, and we are gonna print our own stuff next. First print out of the box from the local memory. Finished. It says SparkX. It's a keychain, 3 colors. Pretty decent, pretty solid. I like it. Let's actually push the machine to the next level with complex prints. It is my first uploaded print, just finished with SparkX, and let's take it off. This machine prints really nice interlocking features too. Look at it. Of course, it's the design too, but I didn't change any offsets or parameters, and everything fits really nicely. Good job, SparkX. One left. And this one. Whoa. Articulating unicorn. Alright, my people, what do we think? Look at it. It's really looking good and printed nice. Let's move to the next print. Let's make some gears. Yeah, this one turned out sick. Look at it. I didn't sand anything or try to force feed anything either, so it's pretty nice and it's working great. Alright, here is a stress test spider with SparkX, and it looks good to me. It's cute, and this passed the test. Looks really good. Decent cooling, and this is all PLA. Here it is the first PETG print. Alright, these are all 3D printed with PETG with our SparkX i7 3D printer. Let's put this one together. Unfortunately, I don't have a yellow PETG. Oh. I need more wind, but it is working. I'm gonna put this outside. There is one more cool thing I want to show with this 3D printer. So you open your Creality Cloud app, and in here, pick an object. I'm gonna do fruit washer basket. So I'm gonna click on that, and I'm gonna find the one that I like, maybe the most downloaded one, which is this one, right? It's there. I'm just gonna click slice. You can scale it up, move it around here, duplicate it, and do all of stuff. And I'm gonna select generic PETG as my material over here and my machine, and I'm gonna click slice it. Once it's sliced, you will see your object, and you can click preview on it, so you can preview your object. Look at it, it's like showing how it's gonna get printed layer by layer. Now I'm gonna print it. Here is my device model, generic PETG, layer height, all the parameters are in here. I'm gonna click print. Now it's downloading and we will print. And here it is almost there. I'm gonna print with the number 1 PETG, which is like a green enabled CFS. I'm gonna click print. Now I hear the sound of my printer from the other room actually. And we're gonna see it printing from this screen over here too. And then I will show you guys more. Hi, Uncle Jesse. And right now you can see it's printing live and everything goes well. It's gonna finish sometime soon. And I just sliced it on my phone and did everything over Creality Cloud and sent it to SparkX i7, and it's printing and I can control everything almost. Now it's time to remove this PETG print. And this is a fruit basket washer. We're gonna use this. Now we are going to 3D print. Now we are going to 3D print with TPU, rainbow TPU. I'm gonna use this for this project. And I'm gonna remove one of those tubes from here. I don't think it matters. I'm just gonna remove this one because I chose you, Pikachu. And I'm gonna plug this one in. I'm not gonna remove any other. As I click filament, I go to spool holder here, and I'm gonna click load. Unknown filament, sorry. We're gonna say edit. It's generic, it's TPU. Color, I'm gonna go with this one, generic TPU, click OK. And load it. Now it's going to flush and the heat. Now the gears are turning and it is pooping the TPU. I mean, flushing it. I send my print. It's going to be an iPod couch, and we are going to disable the CFS. For this TPU print, I think I overdid the infill because this is rock solid. It's supposed to be way softy, but yeah, this is for your iPod. Here's my second TPU print finished. This time I made it less infill so you can see that I can squeeze it. This is real TPU. And this is a vase. Yeah, I can hang it and plant my plant in it, and this works. Yeah, look at it. If you come up until this point in this video, thank you so much for watching. I tried my best to show the capabilities of this 3D printer. We printed with PLA-PETG-TPU over long durations, and here are the results. So far so good. I really like it. And yeah, I'm putting the links down below if you wanna check things out. As always, happy 3D printing, and if you like my content, don't forget to subscribe. Let's hit 750 at least by the end of this year, maybe more. See you guys in the next video.